Hey, I'm Sir Anthony, and welcome to my new monthly State of the Channel series. First off, I just want to say welcome to all the new people, because we got a 50% increase in subscribers. We got 10 new people from the Horror Trees video. So welcome to all of you. That is amazing. That is a huge amount of people. And then I think we're almost to like 800 views on that video, which is insane. Because I'm usually getting like 5 or 10, and I think the most I've ever gotten on a video was of like all the channels I've done is probably maybe I don't even know, but basically this is the most viewed video I've ever done, which is absolutely insane. So thank you everyone who watched, and thank you to 10 new people. Welcome to the channel. I hope that what I deliver in the future meets your expectations, and I hope you are entertained and whatever. So welcome indeed. So this video is a little bit different than all my other videos. First thing I'll say right away is I'm going to do this uncut, no edits, because with my other videos, like my gaming videos, I'll cut out all the silences and whatever, and I'll crush everything down and try to make it as quick and choppy and like fast-paced and cram as much entertainment as I can into as small of a time space, because I know like I don't have much time to watch other people's stuff, and I want to respect everyone else's time and just like have everything as dense as possible. So this was going to be very different. This is not for that purpose. This is going to be kind of like the Let's Chat series, but basically I've determined this is kind of what the Let's Chat with series was originally meant to be. It was like a State of the Channel type of thing, the same way the American government has their State of the Union address every year, I think it is. I'm not up on politics as much as I should be. But my point of this is like a way or a place to kind of go back and recap and discuss how things were going and what's been going on in my head and what I've been thinking about and how this whole process is playing out, because I just find this stuff interesting, especially when my favorite creators post these types of things where they're just kind of explaining their thought process and what's been going on. And so most of them, or actually I don't know of any of them that have done that right from the beginning, and that's what I'm trying to do with this, because once you've been doing it for a while, then it's easy to kind of explain what you're thinking and what you're doing, because you've been doing it for a little while and you know what you're thinking, like what your process is, you know what you're doing, versus during this stage it's very experimental. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's a lot of trial and error and mistakes and messing around and getting this figured out. And I think that's where the interesting things come in. It's kind of similar to, what's their name? Matt Diavella and the other dude that was in Mexico for a while. Why am I blanking on his name? Hold on, let me look that up really quick. These guys do like self-improvement types of stuff. I don't even know what to type in here to find him. But I was saying I'm trying to do this uncut because it's less of me trying to cram entertainment in and more so of just a real moment or a real conversation of me just saying my thoughts. And so blank spaces, pauses, silences, those are all normal and part of the thought process. And the same way I didn't cut those out of the podcast, because that's just part of conversation. So I'm trying to remember this guy's name. This is a bad time to blank on it. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but like you probably know what I'm talking about. If I remember to put it in the description, I will do so. But these guys do like self-improvement types of things where they'll run experiments on themselves of like trying cold showers for a month, or they'll adjust their social media habits in a certain way. And I do a lot of that stuff, but I'm not as scientific or organized with it. And so I post about it on Facebook sometimes, but I'm already starting to ramble about a little bit. My point being, I guess that's the kind of stuff that I kind of want to ramble on a little bit about here. And I just haven't been very structured with it. It's more so of me just explaining my thoughts of how things go as they go. So this is going to be the October month review, but then also kind of the summer, and then tying back into some other stuff. So I'll start most recently. It's been a few days since I've uploaded. I just got off of several days, 3 days of third shift at my day job, so my schedule's been crazy, so I just haven't gotten to anything. And I do feel very bad about that. Like I want to work on stuff, but I just have not had the time or the energy lately. But my schedule is finally just back to normal now, so I will hopefully get back to uploading something. And so if I just kind of start with the past week, was that we had the 24-hour live stream. I could address that. That was different. The first half of it was terrible ish. Well, so I had a lot of technical problems, but that's kind of to be expected because I hadn't streamed in 2 years. And 2 years ago, that's all I did. There was no, I'll loop back to that later. So it was different, and I did some Super Hot, and that went all right. And then we played some Rocket League, and that went good. And I did some more Super Hot, and that went all right-ish. But there was just so many technical problems that it was frustrating, and I was tired. And something I did not realize until maybe yesterday is I was disappointed because it didn't go well. But then I had to stop and reevaluate, well, what is my definition of it going well? Because I was just so done. I was not wanting to stream. And I had to kind of reevaluate. If I really think about it, because during that first night, I was thinking the whole thing was like, this was a disaster. But then the next couple days is when I realized, well, no, the Rocket League part went great. The 2 Super Hot bits were okay, and then there's just tech problems. And then now I've dug into that a little deeper yet, and I've realized part of my definition of it not going well was dependent on the number of people there, which is a bad way of looking at it, because the second night, or the second day, it went very well. It was me just fighting with VR Minecraft, and I didn't realize. And then like later that night, some people started showing up and watching, and I could talk with them in the chat, and I had a friend actually play with me, and that went very well. And so that's what got me thinking of like, how am I defining how this goes? Like, what is a stream going well, and what is a stream gone bad? And depending on the amount of people that watch is just ridiculous, because you can't do that with videos. When it comes to video work, I have to just make something, and then I've made it, and I put it out there, and if people want to watch it, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine. If they like it, if they don't like it, whatever. But I've made this thing, and there it is. And so I guess that's the new approach I really need to take with streaming, is to just do the stream, and do the stream well. And if people watch or don't watch, doesn't matter. And if I can do it well, then people will watch eventually, because that's just kind of how that stuff works. If you're good at something, people are going to show up eventually. And if you share it around and blah, blah, blah. Because I used to stream a lot, and there was that whole balance of like trying to constantly be entertaining and be talking all the time, even if there's no one there. That way, when someone does show up, they have a reason to stay. Because if you're just sitting there and that's your stream, and someone pops in, nothing's happening, you're not saying anything, they're just going to leave. So streaming is interesting in that way. And so with streaming, I find I have to focus more on just enjoying what I'm doing. But I'm already starting to get a little bit of a tangent here. There's just so many things I wanted to address. I should have said this in the beginning. This is gonna be a very, very long video, and I am sorry, not sorry. I'm just gonna ramble this stuff out because, and I don't expect anyone to watch this at all. Like, there's maybe 2 or 3 people that might kind of care. Mainly, I'm just putting this out there because it's just what I want to do right now. So there's all of that. That went well. The short film obviously went amazing. Team Trees in general is doing amazing. I will be doing more Team Trees stuff throughout or by the end of the year. I've got a couple ideas yet. One of them is in the works, and I'm still saving up my paychecks a little bit, so I gotta figure out how much I can afford to donate so I can make my contribution. Hopefully a couple hundred, just because like that's another thing. I'm in a situation where I can possibly afford it at the moment. And that's another thing that I'm just keep saying, and that's another thing, and that's another thing is I need to stop saying, and that's another thing. No, there's a lot of things going on that are more personal, with my real life that I don't know how I feel about sharing them. Obviously, I think I would like to eventually, but with the channel being so small, there's like no one. I get that sense of like, well, no one would care, or maybe it would be better to save this story for later, and people could then retroactively be like, oh, you were going through that this whole time. So there's all that kind of weird stuff that I don't really know quite what to think or what to do or how much I should say. Just life situations that happen, and I don't want to put it out now like and appear as if I'm just begging for sympathy, because that's not at all what I want. So that's all weird stuff, and then yeah, there's just so much that I wanted to address. I've been thinking about this for days, and really, I should have taken better notes, because that was one of the things that I didn't like about the Let's Chat series. Is the earlier ones I took notes and I knew exactly what I wanted to say, the exact specific pieces of the topics that I wanted to address, even specific sentences I wanted to say that I worded it just right. So it was scripted, but then later it became just a place to just verbal diarrhea my thoughts out. And there's value in both, because having a like semi-scripted type of thing is something that I have some experience with. I think I'm kind of good at-ish. Versus being able to just say things is a skill that I don't entirely have. And so it's good to practice that, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. But then also, it got to a point where these last couple of Let's Chats, I wasn't really happy with them. I felt like I could have said things better. Like after a conversation, when you start realizing of like, oh, I should have said this like this, and I could have said this, and I maybe shouldn't have said this. I should have said this instead, and that kind of thing. So I started getting that, where it's like maybe I could have put more time and thought and effort into it. So that's kind of where this is going, where this will be like my monthly review, where throughout the month I'll take notes of all these things, and I'll let the thoughts kind of percolate or digest or whatever, until I really know what I actually want to say, instead of just, here's a thought, spew it at you immediately. Yeah, because I just didn't like how those were turning out. And here we are at another quick lull before I find a new thing to segue to. So let me look at this. So I could address the schedule, because I have a long-standing history of taking on more than I can handle, and then burning out, and then quitting. That's just kind of defined me as a person for a long time, and I'm trying to break that habit, because, and we've already seen it multiple times within this first summer that I've run this channel with the Pokemon series, how I was like ready to try to beat a gym a day, I think it was. that's ridiculous. And so I did it for a couple days, and I just burnt out immediately, and I couldn't do it. And then I haven't touched Pokemon since. I have footage that I'm trying to edit, and I go in to edit it, and I just can't. And so you like I talked about that a little bit in a previous Let's Chat, how YouTube really is a mental thing. Like the actual workload is totally doable if I can be in the right space, in the right creative space. And oh man, and it's definitely a lot of discipline. I completely slacked on all discipline through this summer. Because last winter I was like super disciplined of like get to the gym every other day, eat right, blah blah blah, sleep enough, and then summer came and it was like, it's summer, and that wasn't the right move. I should have stuck with the discipline. Maybe lax a little bit on like spend a bit more time outside, obviously. And that's a huge thing with YouTube too, is it takes up so much time. And I have thought of some ways that I can reduce the amount of time it takes. And I was debating if I should save that discussion for... No, I'll go into that now. So one of the things that's really been plaguing me lately is the time management. I realize I've gone on a tangent of a tangent, and I'm going to forget what I was talking about, but oh well. So, it's also late at night when I'm doing this, but like, I just refuse to go another day, because it has been 8 days it's been over a week that I have just been completely off my routine. Yeah, because I had has it really been that long? Yeah, it has. I had 3 days of overnight, and like sleep schedule wise, I'm almost back to normal, except I'm kind of screwing it up a little bit now. But it mentally, I was not back into my routines. I was not, oh boy, another tangent. Here we go. I also do like daily posts on all my social media, and that was getting to the point where I'm sorry, this is a lot of tangents, but you're just going to have to suffer through it, because I am not doing this over. I am not starting this over. I'm not. So just deal with it. Because all this stuff does tie in eventually to the same point. So I've always been, and I mean always, a social media addict. From the moment I had my first Facebook account back in like 2010-ish, I don't really remember. I had my first laptop. It was a $50 piece of junk that my dad bought, and then he didn't like it or couldn't use it because it was a piece of junk. So he gave it to me, and I suffered through that for a while. Until it broke, and then I got my nice laptop, and that's a different story. Anyways, I've always been a social media addict, so that's something that ties in with these like self-improvement guys, is I do all these things with experimenting with how I use social media and my relationship to it and how I view it, and I definitely have that huge sense of like FOMO, where I have to read everyone's posts and know what's going on all the time. And then I had accidentally taken several months off of all socials entirely because my phone broke entirely. I just had no phone for like a month. So that was a thing. I think that was a month. I don't know. It was a thing, but I think I think was like for the duration. So that was. At the time, I was thinking it was honestly the best thing that could have possibly happened. But then I recently decided like I'm ready to go back to social media, and it went well for a little while. And now I'm just back to my old habits of spending way too much time on there. And so I just keep going back and trying different things. Like I don't use it in the morning anymore. I still use it too much. Now I'm trying to I don't know. That's a different stuff. Whew, boy, this is some tangents. So there's that, and there's a sense of like, why am I posting there when I should be posting on YouTube? Why am I taking time for that? Maybe I should quit entirely, but then no, because those are definitely necessary, because it ties into YouTube and they can go well together. And like the channel update type of stuff, that type of stuff perhaps would be better off just being posted on Twitter. So you should follow me on Twitter, link in the description. Yeah, all my socials are in the description now. I realized that they weren't there for quite some time. I've been so disorganized with my online accounts too. That is another thing and a half that I have to take care of. Yeah, I should have taken care of that better this last winter, but I was too busy organizing a lifetime of photos and videos so that when I'm making all these new ones, it doesn't just add to the mess. So you have no idea the time and effort I put into getting a lifetime of photos organized, and across multiple hard drives. Some of them were broken, some were copies of the others, but old copies, but had pieces that were missing from the new copies. That was a disaster. That was fun. So, and then I think too about with tying back to the time management thing. And I'll get back to the social media thing. I'll tie it all together. It'll all be one tangled, jumbled knot in the end. I pull this video out of your pocket and like, oh, there goes my earbuds again. There, okay. I get this sense of me. There's so much I want to do when it comes to things besides gaming content. There's so much I want to do, because I didn't always make gaming content. I made all kinds of other stuff long before I made, well, maybe not long before. Yeah, long before. Because I had my first channel in 2009. Actually 2008, technically, I think. I think it was like winter 28 into 29, or was it winter of 29 into... Did I say 29? 2009, 29, whatever. Yeah, no, 2009, not 29, from whatever. I think it was 08 into 09, that winter, that I had my first channels, and I did all kinds of stuff back then. I did little skit comedy with my friend, we did all kinds of stuff. I do still have some of that footage, so I'm saving that. I'm definitely saving that for a special time. Maybe if I hit 20 million subscribers by the end of 2020, I'll release those old videos, whichever ones I deem not too terribly cringy, because it's so cringy. I'm sorry, I'm tangenting. I'm trying to make up words. So, yeah, so I get this sense of like, there's so much that I want to do, and there are so many games that I want to play, that is it even worth making a video for every game that I play? Because in 2013, maybe fall of 2012, but definitely around that time, was when I officially decided, like, yes, I want to make gaming videos. It took me until 2019. It took me 6 years until 2019 to like make a channel that I'm willing to stick to. And now that I am really sticking to it, a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about for 10 years, it's crazy how this stuff becomes completely different when it goes from theoretical to tangible. When everything becomes tangible, everything changes. So like, if I become a success story, I want to be a success story, with the message of action is the only thing that matters. You can think and plan all you want, but all those thoughts are useless, because it isn't until you actually start that you realize that you bump into problems that you never even knew you were going to have. And you realize all the things you were thinking about were so fundamental that you literally just make the snap decision and do, and if it doesn't work, you change your mind and then do again, and you'll just keep on figuring it out, and action is the important part. And also I want it to be like a story of overcoming your own mental problems, because I got a lot of mental problems. I'll be honest about that. I am very open and honest about that, and I've been this past year is the best I've ever handled them, and I'm working as hard as I can, trying to deal with all that stuff. And I know how a lot of other big YouTubers are talking about that stuff too, how they're trying to get convince people to go to therapy and all that, and I entirely agree. I think the same way we all have an annual physical, we should have an annual mental, like a physical checkup and a mental checkup. I don't do that, but I should. So then maybe I'll get back to trying therapy eventually. But yeah, I honestly think everyone should do that from time to time, because we need it. Because if we can understand how the brain works, why wouldn't we want to use that knowledge and make our brains work better? Sorry, this is a tangent I am going to backtrack from. I was getting to the point of... I lost it. I remember the point. I just don't remember the path I was taking, because maybe I wouldn't have to go all the way back to the beginning, but apparently I shall. How I feel like it isn't really worth making a video for every game that I play, because it just takes so much time. And it doesn't really take that much time, but it takes enough where it's like there's so much more that I want to be doing. And I've mentioned this months and months and months ago when I first started the channel, is that these gaming videos for me are supposed to be just a place for me to practice these fundamental skills that can translate into bigger and better things. And I do like making gaming videos, and there are other things that I want to make with gaming videos, but there's a difference between just sitting down and playing a game and there's a difference between that and coming up with some other thing I can do to change the game or change the way I play it or whatever, to modify something and make it interesting, and do that in a specific way and make a video and make something, instead of just, I'm going to play a game and that's a video. Like, obviously I'd still be playing the game. It's like JonTron does gaming content, but he doesn't just sit down and play a video. He reviews the games, and he's hilarious at it, and you know what I mean if you've seen JonTron. If you haven't, what the heck are you doing? Game theorists. They're a gaming channel, but they don't just sit down and play a game. They do on live stream, and this all ties back to the live streaming thing, because I remembered how... Okay, I'm going to go on another tangent. So with the Realms series, another reason why it's taking me so long to get the Realms series out to you guys is once I edit the video, some of my friends are a little camera shy. One of them is very camera shy. Some of them aren't necessarily camera shy. It's more so of like, when you're in the moment just hanging out with friends, sometimes you say things that like is entirely okay and normal to say in that type of situation, but then you, after the fact, you think, well, maybe I don't want that on the internet for the whole world to see. And so when we do the Realm series and I record it, then I have to edit it and send it to them for review, and they can watch it first and let me know if there's anything that they want modified about the episode, and then I'll re-edit it and then send it to you guys. So that's like another reason why it's taking forever for me to get it out to you guys, is because I'm waiting on them to watch it. And like they have jobs, they have college, and I'm not going to pester them and be like, are you going to watch the video? I need to get my videos uploaded. Like, they can watch it whenever they've got time. I'm not going to pester them and push them on that. But I've had to drop our recording schedule from every Friday to every other Friday, because we're just never going to get caught up on all this footage. There's just so much footage. So, like, I know I've mentioned this, how I want to start getting all of that footage out. Like, come on, this is just effing ridiculous that I have 6 months of footage and I need to upload it, and I'm trying to. I promise I am. But like, I'm waiting on them, and I'm not going to pester them. They can watch it when they have time. How long? Oh boy, a half-hour video. This is going to be a lot longer. Trust me. If you made it this far, leave. Let me get my keyboard here. Let me pick a weird emoji. If you have made it this far in the video, leave me a egg emoji. Thank you. So then I started thinking about live streaming. What if I live streamed it? So that's a decision I had made a while ago. Actually, early this spring, is that I would record when it's just me and I would stream when it's friends, because I didn't have any way of separating out everyone's voices into individual tracks to adjust for volume and fix that in post. And then I found a Discord bot. What is the bot called? I found... What was that? I thought I heard a sound. I found Craig. It's a Discord bot, as well as Gark, that allows me to do that. And then I immediately was like, okay, no, I'm going to record this, because then I can fiddle with those little dials and adjust the volumes and get everything just right, which is great if I'm trying to craft a video of a certain idea with friends. But now I just have so much footage. Versus if I live stream it, then it's like, that's on you guys. You can censor yourself as we're playing. Say what you want to say. Don't say what you don't want to say. And then it's there. And I can go back and edit. And so that was another thing, too, that I thought of 2 years ago, where I wished so badly that I could record and stream at the same time. And you can, but then... everything's just smushed into one file, and I don't have that granularity of having all the voices split out. And then like I said, I had found that tool. So I have now literally just this morning? When was that? I don't know. I found a tool that does that. Streamlabs OBS does that, where I can stream and record and have all of the recording, all the different audio things split into different tracks already. Now, the one thing it does not do is it won't let me split the videos into different tracks. So the game and the webcam, that'll still be chunked together. But like the game audio and the webcam audio will be separate, which is still massive, because personally I say to a large degree, audio is and then okay, maybe I won't say it's more important than video, but like it's so important. Audio is so important. Yeah, because you'd be surprised. People are willing to put up with bad video way more than bad audio, which is interesting, because I would definitely rather lose my ears than my eyes. Huh. That is interesting. I never thought of it that way until just now. You witnessed history. The first time I ever thought that thought. Yes. So, I got this sense of... Maybe maybe it isn't worth making a video for every game. Maybe I can just stream. And so now this way I can stream and record. And that was a huge thing too. Sorry. 2 years ago when I used to stream, I didn't understand audio nearly as well as I do now. And so my audio was a disaster back then. And that's why I leaned back into recording, is because I could have that granularity to fix my audio in post. But now I understand it to the point where I don't really need to do that, because I can look over at the audio mixer and the decibel meters, and I can understand what I'm looking at and be like, okay, no, that needs to be adjusted. Plus, if you have viewers, like any at all, you can ask them how's the audio and adjust things that way. But now I can have things live and recorded and have the audio split out in recording, so I can fix it in post anyway. So there's that, where I think I'm going to start streaming more, actually, despite how much I hated streaming 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks already. No, but despite how, like, I got over that, I think I want to stream more, actually, because then that's going to allow me to play more games without having to make a video for every single one. It'll save me time, but I'll still get to play the games, and plus then you get the viewer interaction that I can talk with the chat, which you don't have that with the videos. I don't know. And right. So the point of this is to save time so that I can make better videos. Because when it ties back to Pokemon Red, I still want... I changed my mind. I don't know if I mentioned this at all ever. I want to go straight from the oldest game to the newest game. I want to get Pokemon Red done by the 15th so I can play Sword and Shield when they come out. Deadline is coming up really soon on that one. So, I just have so much on my to-do list. Hold on, let me give you my to-do list. I've got Pokemon Red, yikes right there. I've got tons of Realm footage, yikes right there. I've got a different Minecraft series I was really wanting to make. I tried to make it months ago, and I just could not get my computer to function with me. Don't know why, but I will fix that. I have a documentary that I'm making, top secret. All I can say is that it's a well, I mean, I can say whatever I want because I'm making it, but all I'm willing to say is I'm making a documentary. I need to put more time into that. I have a very special video that should have come out maybe today, but probably will come out next week. I have to finish Bad Dream Coma. I have to finish... I have a follow-up video to Mario Kart Tour that should have gone out weeks ago. I have to finish Granny because I never beat her. Then there's Granny Part 2. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other things, random other things that just never got finished at all. 2 other games, some VR stuff, and then there was it's a lot. And then... I'm sorry. So I've been very frazzled. And so, right. So that was another thing I could mention too. I'm very seriously considering taking the Realms footage I already have and abandoning that as an edited series and just dumping it to the Stream Archive channel and then streaming that series from now on. Or I might try to edit it sloppily and dump that to the channel, but no, because I've been trying to do that, and now I'm waiting on people. But then if I want to dump it to the archive channel, I still gotta wait on people, because now they're gonna have to watch the whole thing, the whole raw recording, instead of an edited version. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I'll figure it out. I'm working on it. I am actively working on it. I have things edited that I'm just waiting on reviews, and again, I'm not gonna push them. It's fine. They watch it when they watch it. So there's all that. But yeah, so this way, if I start streaming more, making videos not making videos less, but making less just straight up gameplays and making better videos, because that's something that I switched 2 years ago when I did a lot of streaming. That's what I meant to do. And then I just got locked into streaming, or not locked in, but mentally that's just all I did anymore. And that's what I intended to do, was to stream my gameplay and then make better videos. But I gave up on videos because I was in a weird place mentally and physically. That was a different place. And my job situation, oh boy, that was a mess. That's a story I could save for another time. That was different. That was back when I did construction. It was not a good fit for me. Or maybe construction itself was okay, but it was the crew I was with. It was not nope, not going there. I'm done with that topic. So that was when I ended up quitting on that one, because instead of doing more streaming alongside the videos, I had just abandoned videos, and I didn't like streaming because I had that mentality of, if no one shows up, it's a bad stream, which is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know why I thought that back then. And also this all ties back as well to something that I can't believe I already glossed over a couple times, is in 2013, when I officially decided, like, this is it. I want to make gaming videos. From that moment on, I remember specifically that night. I don't remember what night it was, but I was at home on my parents' couch playing Minecraft, because that's just what I did back then. The game was still new to me, and it was back in 2013, and I'm sitting there, probably close, I don't know, midnight, 2 a.m. on a school night, and I'm playing this, and I'm just suddenly realized that I'm not enjoying it anymore. And I was so confused, because I just suddenly decided, like, yes, I love gaming. Obviously, I already loved gaming. I grew up with it. That's what I'm all about. But like, I decided, like, let's do this. I'm excited about this. Let's make gaming videos. And I instantly didn't enjoy gaming anymore the instant I decided that. And I realized what it was is, from that moment on, up until this day, I care more about making videos than about gaming. I'll say it. I've said it. There it is. I care more about making videos than playing games. I care more about working my butt off and building a channel than I do about relaxing in any form, whether it's camping or hanging out with family. And I love those things. I love biking and camping and kayaking and hiking and eating around the campfire and many other things, not just outdoorsy things. I love those things. But I'm just obsessed with it from that moment that I decided, and I can't give it up. And so that's another thing that I can't believe I've already glossed over, is when I was talking about what I want my story to be. If this becomes, when this channel succeeds, because I am going to make it happen no matter what. When this channel succeeds, I want my success story to be a story of overcoming my mental nonsense. I did already say that. I'm sorry. It's late. I'm tired. Whatever. Excuses. Just shut up and talk, Anthony. To overcome all kinds of stuff. Because back then I was unconscious enough, if that's the right word. I guess I just had a lack of self-awareness, where rather than seeing that as a thing to fix, I just kind of accepted it, and I was just like, oh, okay, this sucks. I don't enjoy gaming, so I guess I'm not making gaming videos. And then I tried making some, and I didn't like them, because I guess all the way back then, I already, from the very beginning, didn't want to do just straight up gameplays. I wanted to come up with creative ways to make the games more interesting and craft videos, not just, hey guys, today I'm playing this game. Because it just feels lazy to me. And this is how it ties back to social media. Because anyone can type a tweet. Doesn't mean it's worth it does not mean that it is worth reading. But it takes a long time, a lot of hard work and effort and thinking to make a book. And a book, like, it's something you work on, you think of it, you find a way you figure out what you want to say and how you want to say it, and why is this worth saying, and you craft this thing, and then you're done and you have a book. And you're like, here you go to the world. This is my contribution to humanity. Versus, this is a random thought that I'm going to share with the world. Is that even worth sharing? Some of them, perhaps, yeah. There are lots of random little thoughts that are entertaining on Twitter. And then, same thing with these videos. It's like, at this point, anyone can sit down and just be like, all right, I'm going to play a game. But is that worth immortalizing in a video? Is that worth the effort? Sorry, box of cereal. The empty box of cereal. I need to clean my room. But is that worth putting in the time and effort to edit and put it and fiddle with the volumes and craft that into a video and be like, here you go. Here's my contribution. That's maybe 10 years ago, that would have been good. Like, obviously Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and PewDiePie built themselves on that type of thing. Back then that was good, but now all of that's been said and done, and people expect better. You can't just keep putting out the same old garbage. Like, that's just part of human nature, is to constantly strive for improvement. And so you can't, like I said, you can't just keep putting out the same nonsense, same garbage. Just because it was good 10 years ago or even 5 years ago doesn't mean it is up to par today. And I want to make something better. That's like, and that was actually probably the end of many of my channels, was that struggle of not allowing myself to do better and make better, because I get that sense of, if I'm gaming and it's not for video, it's a waste of time. And streaming wasn't an option for me up until 2 years ago. I moved to a different place so I could stream. And then I had to leave there so I couldn't stream anymore, and I had to quit. And then I moved here to this situation that I was briefly mentioning earlier. Like, I'm sure I'm going to talk about this situation eventually. I don't know if I'm going to now, but like, if you guys knew the lengths I go to, the things I endure to be able to afford to do this. And I will say it, I will tell you all about it eventually. There's just other people involved, and I don't know if they're comfortable with that story being told currently. And they're probably they would probably be fine with it, but I just want to respect their privacy just in case. And I just haven't taken the time to ask and be like, hey, is this okay if I mention this? Which they're probably gonna be fine with it anyway, but yeah, so video, I've just absolutely fallen in love with the power of video and what it can do in the world, not just for gaming and entertainment, but like video as a whole. Movies, short films, all kinds of everything. And I love how YouTube has spawned a billion genres of content that never would have existed otherwise, because it's given us a place to, as McJuggernuggets put it, to just throw our shit at the wall. I'll briefly paraphrase his metaphor or simile. I forget which one it is, because I know there's people out there that care about the difference now, even though I'm sorry if you do. But his metaphor or simile was, you take a shit and you throw it at the wall. Maybe it sticks, maybe it slides down on the floor. But if it sticks, you gotta figure out what you ate. And you keep eating that same thing, and you keep throwing that at the wall, and eventually you'll have a few things that stuck to the wall. And then someone's gonna walk by and go, my God, look at that shit on that wall. And then you just keep doing it. You keep throwing your shit at the wall, and then someone else walks by, and they're like, my God, look at that shit on that wall. I'm sorry, McJuggernuggets, I'm stealing your content. But if anyone else wants to know this, you can look up his video of how he thinks about YouTube, whatever he titled the video. And then that person gets their friend, and they come over, and they get their friend, and they come over, and eventually you've got a bunch of shit on the wall and a bunch of people watching. And that's what YouTube is. It's a place for us to just throw our nonsense, and if it doesn't stick, oh well. And there's plenty of things that aren't sticking, and that's okay. To just keep on trying. And that is the perfect segue into something that I've learned this summer that I absolutely think is not told enough, is that the whole battle of quality versus quantity, because I've definitely fought with that over the years, I say forget both of them. They're both equally important, but more important is consistency. That it's not the quantity. Consistency and quantity are definitely different. And that if you can consistently provide whatever, just pick any quantity, because quantity is subject, because as Gary Vee talks about, quantity is objective, quality is subjective. What is quality to me might be garbage to you. What is quality 5 years ago might be garbage to now. Quantity is not subjective. Quantity is objective. So you pick a quantity once a week, once a day, 5 times a day, whatever, and then you just hit that consistently. And whatever level of quality you can provide at that consistency is good enough. If you demand more quality, then sure, drop the quantity a little bit, but keep it consistent. And then the quality will just naturally increase over time with the consistency, with the practice. That's something that I've been logically trying, like I understand it now. I'm just trying to live it. I'm trying to I'm trying to live it. So that's been a thing. So I guess that would be a segue into the schedule, because as I've talked about before, I have that habit where I just take on way more than I can handle, and then nothing gets done at all. Like I think I'm ready to go crazy, and especially, I know we're not supposed to compare to others, but Ethan Crank Gameplays, that dude was working a full-time job as a manager and still put out 2 videos every day. And when I think about that, how the lengths I go to, the things I endure to be able to afford to work on part-time and put my time towards this, yeah, I can say that. That's not overstepping anyone's boundaries. I have a living situation that allows me to work only part-time and put all of my time into making videos. And I definitely pick up a lot of extra hours at work during the holiday season and during back to school season, because I'm in charge of like office supplies and school supplies. The thing, and sorry, another tangent. The things I go through, and to think I still doubt myself. I still doubt, like just last weekend, or the weekend before, I can't keep track at this point. In the past couple weeks, I have gotten back to that point again of like, do I even really want to do this? Is this even actually what I want to do with my life? And then I look at what I do to be able to do what I do, and it's like, why do I still doubt myself on this? That I have been completely incapable of not thinking about this for basically the majority of my life. Yes, I can confidently say that from the moment I was introduced to YouTube, and introduced to, well, maybe not the exact moment, because like my first YouTube video I ever saw was David Bell doing parkour. It was my first time seeing YouTube. It was my first time seeing parkour. It was the first time I ever heard a rap song, which was Lose Yourself by Eminem. It was my first time seeing online video. It was shown to me by my first friend on my first computer, and my blah, 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 blah. The song Lose Yourself was playing as I got my first piercing. Both of them. What was I saying? Right. So maybe not from like that exact instant, but like the moment I started making videos, I have been completely obsessed and hooked, and this defines me. This, like, YouTube is everything to me. And I understand that YouTube as a company can do whatever they want. The website could disappear tomorrow, but then I'll still make stuff. I'll just go elsewhere. I'll post to Facebook. I'll post everywhere until I figure out what sticks. But like, I find it fascinating. Why do I still doubt myself? And maybe this ties into how maybe I was just not wanting to do gameplays. Maybe it's that I want to work on other things, and that's definitely a thing, because there's so many other things, even outside of video, that I want to do that require time. Focused chunks of time that are just to this thing, and when I'm doing gameplays, you just don't have the time for that. Right, to the schedule. So I was saying how I take off more than I can chew. That was, whoo boy, that was a tangent. I take off more than I can chew, and then I burn out, and then I quit, and I don't do anything. So it's just why I have to be very structured with, like, this is how much I put into this. So I even have to, I really, really function best under a structured schedule when I force myself and discipline myself to stick to it, because my default mode is nonstop 24/7 everything into YouTube. Forget sleep, forget eating, forget working out, forget work, except like I go to work. I don't skip work. But like that's my default mode. If I was completely unchecked, I would just 24/7 myself into the ground because it's what I want. Like this is what I want to do. Why would I want to go do that thing even though I need to sleep and eat and work in order to be able to do this thing? So I don't like schedules. I don't like routines, but I force myself into it because I have to and because I'm in a human body that requires maintenance. So with the schedule, I've already talked about it. I started off once a week because it's easy. I figured it was achievable and doable. And it was. It felt lazy. So I bumped it up to 2 a week and I didn't do it. And I think I just continued to try 2 a week for a while. Whoopsies. I'm looking back at my notebook where I keep track of like everything that I do. It's kind of like a journal, but when I do journaling, which I've done before, I write too much and I spend too much time on that. So this way I've got a small little box I'm forced to just cram in there. Okay, what happened? And then that's it. Yeah, so I kind of stuck to 2 for a little while. But then in June, I took 3 weeks off. Whew. I don't know quite what happened there, to be honest. I just kind of quit making stuff. Or it looks, to be honest, actually, if I look back at this, because this was back in June, it looks like I was still doing stuff. What was I doing? Okay, so for a while, Audacity was being broken. And then I recorded one of the things that never got edited yet. Oh, yeah, that took a huge chunk of time out, like many days, because my entire studio setup was elsewhere for those days. I recorded something else. What? Get what? Yeah, so actually I was recording and editing. I just wasn't uploading. That's weird. I don't know. So anyways, I took those 3 weeks off in June entirely by accident. And then I kind of went back to 2 videos a week. No, I went back to 1 video a week. I marked in no video here, so I was trying for 2 videos a week and I couldn't do it. Then I, out of nowhere, just did 4 videos, and then the next week 6 videos. And then I went back to 1 video, and then the next week was 1 video, and then 4 videos, and then back to 2 videos. And then 2 videos again, and 2 videos again. I'm talking about like as I'm going down the weeks. And then I did 5 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 5 and 5 plus, which was 2 weeks ago or last week. What day is it? 2 weeks ago. And then last week I did 1 video. Oh no. Whoa. Last week was 1 video. Let me check on that. 2 videos. Last week was 2 videos. 2 videos. 2 videos? 2 videos. Okay. Whew! So yeah, actually, I think I'll count this as one of my 2 videos for this week. So that's where like I'm still trying to stick with 2 videos a week at this point. For a while, I was thinking maybe I'd go up to 3, but no. Because then, as you just saw, I just burnt out, and I haven't done anything in 8 days. Because we were busting butt to get Horror Virgins Anonymous number 2, or Horror Trees, done in time. And then I've got some other stuff that I wanted done in time, but I at the last minute decided, like, yeah, this is ridiculous. That was something I definitely learned from those experiences, is that I need to learn to plan better, because I come up with ideas constantly all the time, and I'm having to write them down in my notebook and all the time. but I need to learn to plan, like take the ideas from my head and write them down and like, okay, let's actually do these things, and how is this going to happen? Yeah, because it was just not organized enough, and so I delayed some of the ideas that I wanted done by the 25th, and I realized they didn't need to be done by the 25th, right? 25th, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, so I guess I'm still gonna stick with 2 videos a week, which, to be honest, will probably be all Pokemon videos. I don't know, man. If I'm gonna get Pokemon Red done in time, so that's where I'm at. Is I don't know if I should edit the rest of Pokemon Red and Realms and upload it as normal videos, or if I should just dump that to the stream archive and just call it done and like wash my hands of it. All right, I screwed up. I shouldn't have let that go for that long. I should have handled it and edited that footage like right away. Maybe I should just dump the footage and be like, all right, that was the past. Let's move on. That's what I would like to do. And then the Realm series, I want to move that to live streaming. And then the Pokemon Red series, I think I want to finish that in video. And then I'll start Pokemon Sword and Shield. Honestly, I might do that as streaming too. Because, I don't know, maybe I'll do it as a video because it's a first playthrough, but like, I don't want to do just a normal, boring old gameplay like everyone else is doing. Like, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know. I'm just so torn on that. It's like, I have so many games I want to play. So many video ideas for, like, actual videos, not just, I'm going to play this game. Like when I talk about having video ideas, I'm not talking about like, these are the games I want to play. These are my video ideas. I'm talking about like, I can take this game and do this to it, or I can play it this way, or whatever. And it's a video idea. It's different. It's not just me playing a game. So yeah, to be honest, I might not even make a video series out of Sword and Shield. I might stream that. I might do a lot more streaming, but my worry is I don't want to go back to what I did 2 years ago, which is where I went all into streaming and I just kind of forgot about making videos because I did not like that. I need to make videos. That video footage pumps through my veins. Film. But what is the chemicals that they wash film in for like old-timey developing photos? Whatever that stuff is runs through my veins. I'd probably be dead or seizuring on the floor or who knows what if that were real. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, these last 8 days, that was the combination of 8 and last. These paste days, these last 8 days were disaster, if I'm honest about it. Because yeah, the short film went great. The live stream went way better than I thought. I was just having a bad attitude about it. And then I guess I just needed a break, because that's the thing is through this summer I just didn't have my discipline down, and I have to. That's my thing with discipline too is, and I'm failing at it right now because it's 10:31 and I'm supposed to be going to bed at 9 because I gotta be up at 5. That's my thing is like I have my Google Calendar all blocked out. I have it scheduled of like, this is when I eat, this is when I sleep. Because if I don't stick to that schedule and discipline myself, then I suffer. And so yeah, that's been a thing. Life has been crazy. I felt And I feel bad for a couple people that I've been even a bit distant from because I've been just too focused on all this. And not disciplined enough, really. I think that's the thing. Discipline is very important. Because that was, I think, how this past 1 year, has been the best my mental stuff has ever been, is because when I shaved my head, which actually none of you on this channel are aware of yet, this will be my first time mentioning it. I used to have very long hair, like legit hippie hair. So I shaved my head for my brother who had lung cancer. He's doing very, very well now, thank goodness. We're very lucky with that, and obviously great doctors doing their thing. Incredibly thankful for them and thankful that he's still around. But anyways, when I shaved my head, I decided to take on like almost a military-esque style of discipline where it's like, now is the time to sleep. Now is the time to go to work. Now is the time to edit videos. And I was like super structured and like got my shit together, and life went well. And then summer happened and I went, it's summer. And everything kind of fell apart. So I need both, obviously, but I need proper amounts of it, a good balance. And here I am right now doing this video because I value making videos more than I value sleep. Did I cover everything? I covered a lot of things. Definitely a lot of things. How long? An hour and 6 minutes. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sorry. If you made it all the way through here, let me find an emoji. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a comment of a candle. Leave me the candle emoji if you made it this far in the video. I shall expect none. Alright. What else do I want to cover? What else do I want to ramble on about? So, and I do have some bloopers from Horror Virgins for Horror Virgins 1 and 2, Horror Virgins and Horror Trees. I do not have any behind the scenes yet. My close friends basically is what they are, and incredibly grateful for them. My crew is very minimal, so I want to get more people involved and make bigger, better projects. And those were amazing. Those are great. But I obviously always striving to improve. And I have also learned from those, tying into the needing to plan better, I need to... So the Horror Virgins, I came up with it the night before. And was like, that's a silly thought, but there's no way I'm going to have time to make that. And then the next day while I'm at work, I'm just thinking, you know what? I've got like a spare 6 hours. Let's just do it. And so we did it. From arriving at a location, from that moment through setting up, filming, tearing down, coming back, dumping files, editing, blah, 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 making thumbnail, title, metadata, upload, everything from arriving at location to video uploaded and going live, 6 hours. It was incredible. And then Horror Virgins was supposed to be 2, maybe 3 days of filming, turned into 6. And we have some fun stories from that I would like to tell eventually, but I'll probably save that for another time. Definitely not saying those tonight. So that was interesting, but really I think the big problem with Horror Trees, is the one that took 6 days. Horror Virgins went fine because it was short. I kind of wrote the script in my head the night before and the day of as I was at work. And then Horror Trees. That one was obviously a bit more involved, and I wanted to write a storyboard and a shot list, and I just didn't because I spent my time scrolling on social media because FOMO and, got to keep up with what everyone's posting. That was a big waste of time. Yeah. So that was a thing. And then Markiplier put out a heist with Markiplier. I definitely need to go to bed soon. That was amazing. Like, I would love to be able to do something like that someday. I love that. And I just love how he hides lore and like secret puzzles in all of his stuff. It's kind of like, I guess Don't Starve did a lot of that too. And I love stuff like that. Like, I want to know more. I want to find more things like that have all these ciphers and codes and secret things that you have to figure out and discover, because it's not just passively sitting back and watching. Like, you're doing it. It's great. So I should end this. This was very long because it was I guess six months of the channel. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 7 months? 6 months? Yeah. It's basically a half a year of the channel, man. It's been a wild ride. And I can't wait for this next 6 months to be so much better and to do so much more. And it's a very difficult, painful decision for me to make to switch to streaming. And I'm not switching to streaming. To do my gameplays on streaming and try and save videos for making things. It's such a difficult decision because maybe I didn't even really touch on this quite well enough throughout the video, is that I don't play games unless it's for a video. That's all I did growing up, was playing games and making videos outside. But the instant I combined the two, like I said, I no longer enjoyed playing games because I valued, and that was back in 2013. So I don't play games unless if it's for a video or a stream at this point. And that does take a toll. It does, in a really weird way. In a very first world kind of way. I realize these are all very first world problems. And basically, I'm trying to optimize this so that I can do the best I can, so that I can channel this into doing bigger and better things and addressing third world problems. Addressing the people starving in Africa and third world countries all around the world. Address the climate. The climate, way more important to be like. I know there's a lot of people there's a lot of people that are gonna be like, "Whoa, there, dude, you good?" But yeah, I say the climate is way more important than helping people. There's a lot of people. Hate to say it, but like, if you help the people that are dying, good, now they're living. You help the environment, good, now we're all living. Like, if we don't fix the environment, we are all dead. So it won't, like, if you help the people that are dying in third world countries, but you don't help the environment, they're going to die anyway because the environment's all messed up. So, like, it's just a matter of priorities. They're both important, but I say the environment's more important. There, I said it. And then there's the podcast. The podcast. That first one was awkward, which was weird because, like, normally I have conversations with that cousin of mine all the time, but the instant it became within a podcast, it was different. And I don't know how I feel about that. There's a lot percolating about that yet. Many thoughts about that. But there was no podcast last month because I was working on horror trees. And I don't know if there will be the one this month. There should be. I hope there will be. Because it is something I want to continue and practice and work on. And just try it out and see, once I'm in 10 episodes, see how I feel about it then. I don't know. Maybe I'll abandon it. Maybe I won't call it a podcast per se, but just randomly talk with people. Even though that's what a podcast is. I should end this. Thank you very much for watching. You are insane. Why are you still here? Leave me a comment saying, Cotton Eye. Cotton Eye. Leave me a comment saying Cotton Eye if you watch the whole thing. I'm actually done now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you made it this far in the video, wow, you care about me way too much. But thank you. I appreciate it. And you should share my videos with people that you think might enjoy them and have them subscribe too, because that's how the channel grows. And I'm going to keep making videos for you guys to be able to enjoy and share. So thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful evening, because I am now going tonight. Good night. Yikes.